Well, according to the Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car hit an all-time high, and used car prices month over month were down 1.1%. Get this, $50,000 is the average cost.
That's about 93% more than the price of a used car, which will put you back $26,000.
Car prices are crashing faster than ever in 2026, and I just witnessed the proof with my own eyes. I spent yesterday at a dealer-only auction, the kind of place regular buyers never get to see. And what I found there should change how you buy your next car. Picture this: a 2018 BMW X3. Decent miles, clean body. The auctioneer starts the bidding at $22,000. No one raises a hand. He drops it to $14,000. Still nothing. $8,000. That's when I see the warning light on the dashboard. Refill coolant. Shut motor down. The dealers noticed it too. That BMW barely crawled past 11,000, and it still didn't sell. But here's the thing that really got my attention. I kept seeing the same trucks, the same SUVs, week after week. A Silverado sitting there from last week, a Tahoe, a Tundra, a Jeep. None of them sold. They just keep running through the auction over and over again. Dealers are stuck with vehicles nobody wants to buy. Something is very wrong in the used car market right now, and most people have no idea it's even happening. So why are dealers panicking while consumers are still paying full price? Let me explain what a dealer auction actually is. This isn't a place where you or I can walk in and buy a car. This is wholesale only. Licensed dealers buying and selling inventory away from public eyes. What happens here sets the prices you eventually pay on the lot. And right now, what's happening here is ugly. I walked through the lanes before the auction started, checking out what was running that day. That's when I noticed something strange. A Silverado I recognized from last week. A Tahoe sitting in the same spot. A Tundra that definitely ran 7 days ago. A Jeep I had looked at myself the week before. An F-150 gathering dust in the corner. None of them sold. They're all running again. In a healthy market, this doesn't happen. Vehicles come to auction, dealers bid, cars sell, everyone moves on. But when the same trucks and SUVs keep showing up week after week, that's a giant red flag waving right in front of your face. Here's what's going on. These vehicles came from franchise dealerships. New car stores that took them as trade-ins. The problem is they paid way too much. They got aggressive trying to win deals, offered inflated trade-in values, and now they're underwater. The cars are worth less than what they have in them. So they bring them to auction, hoping to cut their losses. But buyers like me aren't stupid. We're not going to pay their inflated number just to bail them out. We know what these vehicles are actually worth in this market. There's a saying every car dealer knows. First money, best money. It means the first time you run a car through auction, that's probably the most you're ever going to get for it. Every week after that, it brings less. Buyers get suspicious. They assume something's wrong with it. The car gets stale. These dealers holding out for more money are actually losing more money.
The amount of money you need to make to afford the average car in 2026 is absolutely insane. So for context, the average MSRP of a new car is now $51,288, and I ran the numbers for you. Let's take this Toyota Highlander. This runs close to $50,000, and if you make a 20% down payment, you're still going to end up with a monthly car payment of $773 per month. That's before any car insurance, maintenance, or fuel costs, and I looked those up for this car in particular, and that adds about $348 a month to your transportation costs. That means your total transportation costs per month are $1,121 per month, and don't forget you also put $10,000 down to get this car in the first place. If we use the 24/10 rule, it shows us that we need to put down at least 20% and then keep our total transportation costs under 10% of your monthly income. So The income that you need to comfortably afford this car is $134,520 per year. But it gets worse because I used a 5-year financing term instead of 4 years like the rule suggests. Now, if I use 4 years, then your corresponding transportation cost per month goes up to $1,287 a month. That means the gross salary that you should be making in order to comfortably afford this car is $154,440 per year to afford a Toyota Highlander. So let me know what you think about this in the comments.
So guys, today I bought a new car. I put $4,000 down, $1,000 a month payments, 15% interest rate for 90 months.
I would never want a Tesla, let alone a car, that bad where I would accept that interest rate. And even if I did accept a high car payment like that and a high interest rate, I wouldn't get on the internet and tell y'all. I would take that L in silence. $4,000 down, $1,000 a month, and 15% APR is ridiculous. Where is her circle at? I'm assuming that it's a 2026, right? 2026 Tesla Model Ys range from $39,990 to $41. And then there's that's a standard model. But there's all these prices right here. I just can't see wanting a Tesla that bad where I would accept those terms. I hope she was trolling.
Buying a used car used to be one of the smartest financial moves you can make. Fast forward to today, that same strategy can cost you thousands. Here's everything that's changed and everything you need to know before you buy your next car. Not long ago, before COVID, buying a used car was simple. You let the first owner take on the depreciation hit. As many of you know, new cars lose thousands in value as soon as they leave the lot. Then you can swoop in, get a nice deal on a now used car. Inventory was also plentiful and the prices were reasonable, with most used cars averaging less than $20,000. All you had to do was make sure there were no accidents or open recalls, test drive it, sign some papers, and go on your way. Unfortunately, that's just not the case today. Here's what we have to deal with. In February, an average new car cost over $49,000. A lot of people can't afford that, so that's driving them into the used car market. With that in mind, the used car prices are going up, average being over $25,000. To add to the problem, the inventory is thin as we're still trying to recover from the pandemic. We are about 8 million vehicles short from what would have happened in 2021 and 2022, but they were not manufactured. Another crazy stat is the sales of cars priced at $25,000 or less has fallen by 78%. 6 years ago, automakers offered 36 new models, and today there are only 4. Pair this with international tensions, and the prices are just not going to go down, and the inventory is going to continue to remain thin. So, you got to be smart with your next buy. After purchasing 7 used vehicles, I have created a 10-step guide that works every time for me now, and I'm going to share it more in my next video, and you'll be able to download a free PDF. So hopefully it'll help you as you look to buy your next used vehicle.
Do you want to know how much money you would need to be making a year in order to comfortably afford a 2026 Lexus RX 500H? Let's find out. This is a 2026 Lexus RX 500H F-Sport Performance all-wheel drive. It has a starting price of $66,200. Then there's a delivery fee for $1,450. And then there are manufacturer add-ons that come out to a total of $8,054. And then if you add an 8% sales tax, that's another $6,056.32 that's added on for sales tax as well, which would bring the total price to $81,760.32 for this RX 500H. Now, if you want to know if you can afford this vehicle or any vehicle for that matter, be sure to check out my car affordability calculator at the link in my bio. This helps you see what you can afford and what you would need to make based on your personal numbers. And also check out my budget tracker, which can help you maintain your expenses and know that you can afford the vehicle that you're looking for or the vehicle that you already have. You can also bundle those two together. I did build these myself, so any feedback is very helpful and it does help out the channel, so I do greatly appreciate it. Now, let's say you finance that total $81,760.32 with $0 down for 72 months, which is a total of 6 years, with an 8% interest rate. Your monthly car payment would be $1,433.52 a month. And during those 6 years that you're financing, you would pay a total of $21,453.36 in interest. Now, of course, in order to see how much you need to make in order to comfortably afford this vehicle, you can't just look at the monthly payment alone. We have to look at the other monthly expenses. For car insurance, you would be looking at about $227.08 a month on average For your monthly gas cost, you would be looking at about $316.67. And for your monthly maintenance, you would be looking at somewhere around $175 a month if you were to divide that evenly across all months. Keep in mind this is just an average and will fluctuate based on your personal circumstances. Now, if you were to add all those monthly expenses together, your car payment, your insurance, your gas, and your maintenance, you'd be looking at a total of $2,152.27 a month on average. Now, if you wanted to keep that at a comfortable 15% of your average annual income, then that means that you would need to be making $172,181.87 annually in order to comfortably afford this Lexus RX. Now, just to put that in perspective for you, let's say you paid those same monthly expenses every single month for the entire 72 months that you're financing, then over the course of those 6 years, you would pay a total of $154,963.68 total for this 2026 Lexus RX 500h F-Sport Performance all-wheel drive. And if you like this video, be sure to check out my car affordability calculator as well as my budget tracker at the link in my bio. Let me know what you want to see next.
Here's a question for you from the Beijing Auto Show 2026. Is globalization over? Well, that's debatable. You still have the legacy Western automakers coming here to China, but they're up against a completely different competitive environment. It is EV-centric, highly innovative, and in the middle of a brutal price war. So yes, it's still a global industry, but I guess you could say the country in the driver's seat has changed. One of the more high-profile domestic players is Xiaomi, which definitely is not a legacy car maker. In fact, they've only been around a couple of years making cars. Their deconstructed DNA, if you will, is in the mobile phone, and that's what consumers here in China want. And feature-rich cockpits in the driver's seat are evident across many Chinese-made EVs, including this one from Volkswagen, jointly made with Chinese car maker Xpeng, where the touchscreen extends from the driver's seat all the way across the dash to the passenger seat. The big emphasis for the domestic car makers in China, and I'm telling you, there are dozens and dozens of them, is to keep the attention on them, because in the next few years, everyone's telling me there's going to be a reckoning because they have to consolidate. What's driving that is this intense competition to drive down prices. The price war is delaying the prospects for profitability. So that's going to have an inevitable impact on Chinese car makers' ability to survive.
How much would you need to be making a year in order to comfortably afford a 2026 Porsche Macan? Let's find out. This is the Porsche Macan S. It has a starting price of $78,000, then it has a delivery fee of $2,350, and then it has manufacturer add-ons that total out to an additional $24,120. Which brings the total listed price to $104,470. Now, if you want to know if you can afford this vehicle, or any vehicle for that matter, be sure to check out my car affordability calculator at the link in my bio. They can help you see what you would need in order to be able to comfortably afford the vehicle that you're looking for. And also be sure to check out my budget tracker, which can help you maintain your expenses and make sure that you're staying on track with your finances. Both of those can be found at the link in my bio, and you can also bundle those together. I did build both of them myself, so any feedback is very helpful, and it does help out the channel, so I do greatly appreciate it. Now, for this Porsche Macan, if you were to add an 8% sales tax, then that would be an additional $8,357.60 that you would be paying in sales tax as well, which would bring the total price to $112,827.60 for this Porsche Macan. Now, let's say you were to finance that total amount with $0 down for 72 months, which is a total of 6 years, at an 8% interest rate, then that means your monthly car payments would be $1,978.23 a month. And over the course of those 6 years, you would end up paying a total of $29,605.21 in interest. But of course, in order to see if you can actually comfortably afford this vehicle, you would have to look at more than just the car payment, and you'd have to look at all your monthly expenses. Then for your car insurance, you'd be paying about $250 a month on average. For your monthly gas costs, you'd be paying about $300. And for maintenance, you'd be paying about $150 a month if you were to divide that evenly across all months. Now, if you had all those monthly expenses together, your car payment, your insurance, your gas, and your maintenance, then that means you'd be paying $2,678.23 a month for this Porsche Macan. Now, let's say that you wanted to finance that at a comfortable 15% of your average annual income, then that means that you would need to be making $214,258.68 annually in order to keep this at a comfortable 15% of your average annual income for this 2026 Porsche Macan S. But let me know what you think about this down in the comments below, and if you like this video, go ahead and give me a follow, and be sure to check out my car affordability calculator as well as my budget tracker at the link in my bio. And let me know what you want to see next.
This Ford Maverick is literally the cheapest new car you can buy brand new today. And what do I mean by that? I paid $22,000 for this Ford Maverick. $22,000. Brand new, off the lot. It had 3 miles on it. And let's go over the price. $30,000 was the MSRP, discount $6,000. Selling price was $24,000. But obviously Ford had a rebate going on, another $2,000, down to $22,000. And if you want to get all technical, right, because of the out-the-door price, taxes, fees, all that, but that's different to every state though, right? I'm in Virginia. We have a 4% sales tax when you buy a motor vehicle. So I ended up paying $24,151 for this Ford Maverick. One of my biggest gripes with the Ford Maverick is that when they were new, right, they were supposed to be $20,000, and then now they're all the way up. Like, that's basically, you can get a little bit cheaper, right? You can get them for like 28 grand MSRP if you get two-wheel drive. But one of the other things that actually drove up the price, the base model Mavericks now really aren't base models, right? An XL all-wheel drive EcoBoost used to be like a $4,000 option from the EcoBoost to the all-wheel drive. So you take that original one, that would have been $20,000, and all of a sudden it would have been $24,000, and I only paid $22,000. So that's, exactly in line. So even with inflation, this thing's kept up pretty well if you get them correctly.
You're not crazy. Buying a car in 2026 actually is harder. Here's what's going on right now in the car market. Interest rates are still high, car prices haven't dropped as much as people expected, and buyers are being more cautious than ever. What does that actually mean for you? It means dealerships are working harder than ever to earn your business, and there are still good deals out there. If you're thinking about buying soon, send me a message and I'll tell you exactly what the market looks like right now. Otherwise, follow for more car content like this.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
Oh gosh, I don't know. 600?
What's an average car payment in 2026?
I would say anywhere between 5 to 6. If you want a big SUV, you're in the 7s to 9.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
$700.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
$650.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
So I've seen already like almost 300, and then I've seen somebody the other day where they had like $1,500. Outrageous. Do better.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
About $600 to $700 a month.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
The national average car payment right now is $750.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
Probably around $1,100 for 72, 84 months.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
$720.
What's a normal car payment in 2026?
Depending on what you're looking at, probably $650, $700.
These are the top 10 car brands in 2026 with the lowest maintenance and repair costs over a 10-year span. And yes, some of these will shock you. Number 10 is Honda. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $6,130. Number 9, Chevrolet. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $6,050. Number 8, Mazda. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $6,020. Number 7, Ford. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $5,950. Number 6, Nissan. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $5,935. Number 5, Hyundai. Repair and maintenance costs in 10 years is $5,680. Buick and Toyota are tied at number 3 and 4 with repair and maintenance costs in 10 years at $5,300. Number 2 is Lincoln with repair and maintenance costs in 10 years at $5,200. And number 1 with the lowest repair and maintenance costs in 10 years at just $5,050 or around $500 a year Tesla. That doesn't surprise me at all, coming from someone who's personally owned over 5 Teslas, and I currently have 2 Teslas. I have a Tesla Model S Plaid and a Tesla Model X all-wheel drive. Since Teslas are electric vehicles, they don't have a lot of the traditional maintenance and repair costs that a lot of the gas vehicles have. And I've owned over 5 Teslas, and I can tell you, I haven't spent a dime on maintenance or repair costs in my experience. Did this list shock you? Let me know your thoughts below.
The best, cheap, and reliable cars to own are no longer Toyota Camry or the Honda Accord. Both the Accord and Camry start around $30,000 now. Not only that, they also come with more finicky and expensive features that will make repairs and replacements that much more costly. The real modern day cheap to buy and cheap to maintain cars are the new Chevy Trax, which starts at $21,000. Comes with CarPlay, all these simple cheap features. The Hyundai Venue that starts at $20,500. Again, simple and cheap. Even a Honda Civic starts at $25,000 now. So all of these cars that historically thought are cheap to buy, cheap to maintain, not really the case anymore. There's a lot of other options that are way cheaper to buy and cheaper to maintain over time.
For the first time ever, the average cost of a new car in the U.S. topped $50,000. But the good news is the average lifespan of a car is also breaking records.
So what's the new car market looking like for 2026? The trends, the technology that we're going to see?
We're going to see prices elevated to a degree, but also remaining somewhat stable.
Okay, we'll take stable at this point. So stabilization is good. Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
I just watched a BMW X3 go from $22,000 to $14,000 to $8,000. And still, not a single hand went up. That's not a bad day at auction. That's a signal. Used car prices are about to drop 25%. And the dealer panic that's causing it is happening right now, behind doors the public never gets to walk through. I was there yesterday. A dealer-only auction. The kind of place where the real prices get decided before anything ever hits a lot near you. And what I saw wasn't just one struggling BMW. It was the same Silverado from last week, the same Tahoe, the same Tundra, running through the lanes again, and again, and again. Nobody buying, dealers drowning, and the clock ticking on a window that most car buyers don't even know exists. Here's what nobody is telling you. The panic signal is already in the data. Dealers can see it. Manufacturers can see it. So why is everyone still paying full price? The first thing you need to understand is that a dealer auction is not a place you or I can walk into off the street. There are no public buyers, no casual shoppers, no one browsing on a lunch break. This is wholesale only. Licensed dealers, buying and selling inventory completely out of public view. No retail markup yet. No window stickers. Just the raw, unfiltered price the market is actually willing to pay. And that number, that real number, is what eventually becomes the price on the lot near you. Which means what happens inside these auctions is not some behind-the-scenes industry detail that doesn't affect you. It affects you directly. Every trade-in value your dealer quotes you, every asking price on a used vehicle, every offer you get when you try to sell, all of it flows downstream from what dealers are willing to pay each other in these lanes. Right now, what they are willing to pay is telling an uncomfortable story. I walked the lanes before the bidding started, the way I always do. And that's when I started noticing something that stopped me cold. A Silverado I recognized from the week before. A Tahoe sitting in the exact same spot. A Tundra that I had watched run 7 days ago. A Jeep I had personally looked at the previous week. An F-150 collecting dust in the corner. None of them had sold. All of them were running again. In a healthy market, this does not happen. Vehicles come in, dealers bid, cars sell, everyone moves on. That's how it's supposed to work. When the same trucks and SUVs keep showing up week after week with no takers, That is not a coincidence.
Alright, y'all, stop scrolling right now. I'm going to tell y'all how much I really pay for my 2026 Camry. I get this a lot in my DMs, and I'm here to answer it right now. So, insurance, I'm going to start off with insurance because the car payments are up there too, but my insurance costs me $280 for full coverage every month. Yes, it's a lot. It's full coverage though. They've been stealing these cameras a lot, and I'm not regretting it one bit. Moving on to car payments. Car payments are around $350. That's I'm not too sure. It's around $340, $350, but $350 every month. Yes, I'm hitting it hard. I might be putting a little more into it because I want to pay it off quicker, but pretty much $350 and $280. That's gonna be your pretty much every month. So if y'all can't handle the $350 and $280, do not get this Camry. But I get this question a lot. So there it is, y'all. Stay tuned for the next video. Go ahead and hit that follow button and like this video.